excited. I haven't done through this platform yet. So let's just see if I am live when we go live. And welcome to Mission Monday. So redirecting, yes. Cliff is my boss. Platform. So let's just see if I am live when we go live. Perfect. We're live. It's good to see everybody today. It's Mission Monday. And I started going back live because I haven't done this in a while. And one thing I like about this is I've changed my whole setup again. Good morning, Mr. Jack. Great to see you this morning, rocking it out. And I really wanted to just bring back, like I haven't really been discussing what's been going on for the last few years. And it's the mission. Who has a mission, who has that drive, that purpose that's going to pull them. Because this is Mission Mondays. And today, oh, it says my books. So I thought, okay, you know what? Talk about my books. I had a fantastic weekend. Who didn't have a good weekend? Hands up. Have a good weekend. Put in chat if you had a good weekend. I'd love to hear you weekend, what you anticipating. What was great about your weekend? For me, I went to the Heady Happenings. It was a 3-day event. It was amazing. It was really, really amazing. I should actually share this. I'm going to hit share so I can share this on my Facebook, let people know what's going on. Just say hi. I get more people in here, and that's the joys. I haven't quite set up my whole platform when I go live, and I'm gonna have to do this pretty soon. It says my books. I don't like the background. That's okay. There we go. We're live, sharing on Twitter. So I do the shares first, get things going. So really the purpose of my Mission Mondays is really to see how far we've all come. I got to log in too. So we're just going to scratch this all right now. A lot going on here this morning. I had an amazing weekend. It was Heady Happenings. One thing I liked about the Heady Happenings is we all got together for a hash event. And it was a 3-day event. And with this event, we had a process. So that's the best thing about Mission Mondays, is looking at what's your strategy for the week, right? So we have strategies. I always have a strategy. I write things down. So I have my strategies for the week, and they have the same thing with these events. Weekend family, yes, that was awesome. That's what I like working on the farm. So I worked on the community. We all working together. So we all went to the next day. The first day was going to Rubicon Organics. Went there to Barron. Met with all the crew there, and then we went in. We went to the new hashtag machines they had. And it was pretty cool to see the technologies that have changed. When we went from the difference of the changing. Blessed see. Good morning, Kaya. Great to see you again this morning. We're talking about what you had great on this weekend. What was great about your weekend and what you see yourself. And then we get into our Mission Monday, right? So I was talking about my great weekend is going through a 3-day event with Heady Happenings. And on the first day was going to make hash Rubicon Organics and seeing how they had the new machines in there. It was just, they had the mini. I should write down what is there. I just want to bring the experience with you guys. That's cool. It's a square machine now, right? So before we had the round ones, I've always had the bubble now machines. Who doesn't, if you're not making hash, maybe look at some of the machines you've used in the past or talked about them. This was a square machine. And the way it was rotating, it was smashing it. It was really cool to see the technologies and how we're changing. It was fantastic. They did a great job. And of course, being a connoisseur, we washed for like 1 or 2 minutes. Their first wash was 15. So how long are you washing for? What are you doing in that wash? It was kind of cool to see this all happen. Day two, we all went to what? Dank Club. We got together, ran around, got to take a look at some new mothership rigs, some old ones. It was a great event. People were collaborating, discussing the resins, the growing patterns, what they're using. LEDs, the keys to going future. This is the book that some of people were using. And that's what we're talking about here with the books, some of these books that I've written. What was your why and what light we're using? And I was talking, having these conversations, right? So when you're growing, we're growing for resin, or if you're growing for flower, we're growing for what you're growing for. I mean, lighting is going to be a key thing, right? So we're talking about nutrients, what lighting they were using in their strains to give them those. That was my first place, living soil, like what's going on, what lights they were using over their canopies. I didn't get a chance to ask him. I should have asked him. So that was pretty cool. I just sped up to day three because I got excited. That's what happened. So actually, day two was amazing. We all met, and then they had the great event afterwards. I can't think of the name. It was Sarah, just because it had so much going on. It was a lot of fun. Right. So what was your fun? And then on Sunday, they went to the arcade, and this was amazing. This was at Greta and the Greta Arcades downtown Vancouver. And we all got together. We started at 11 a.m. and went right to 4 p.m. Wow, people all got together. It was an amazing event. And then we had our hash competition, which was pretty cool. There was 30 entries. People had it all tested through High North Labs. These were the cool things that was going on. So I got to see all this cool, and then witnessing how people were actually washing today and what we went through before. Seeing that, so definitely go check out Heady Happenings. Go to the Instagram. You'll see all that on my Instagram too. I love to see your Instagram. Put your stuff down there. What was your favorite thing you had about your weekend? And where do you see yourself going in this week? I can't wait till the next event. 3 years in a row, I've had the same spot. And 3 years in a row, well, the first time I had my one book, LEDs, The Keys to Growing Future. This is a great book with teaching how I learned. This is how I learned LEDs. This is the most important part about my books is it's my learning experience. And I was able to take a look at different, well, VPD, calculating VPD. This was a key thing when I was growing, right? Understanding the differences between the strains and then looking at light recipes with the new Grandmaster level light recipe light that he's got out there, which is pretty cool. People using Foshi, Agnetic, LEDs, Alias, of course, used all of their lights. So what lights are you using? And then looking for those patterns was pretty cool. Then I came up with the next book. This one was fun. This one was my one called 42 Quotes. This book here, this is a really cool book because it's like 42 little quotes. And by the way, I wrote this with AI and myself. So the pictures were done with Dolly. They were on Midjourney, sorry. And so we have all these little quotes in here. This is a fun book. So in this book, there's quotes, and each quote is going to give you like quote 13. Cannabis teaches us to grow and heal, often from the roots, from the understanding of our deepest selves. So what comes in there, and everyone is a little coffee book, little quote. So you spend the next little bit in every story. This one's about Mr. Cookie. I love this Mr. Cookie, a beloved baker, is in his crazy town nestled between rolling hills and the whispering forest, was known not just for uh, his pastry, but for his profound wisdom and infectious laughter. Brian was awesome. So every one of these quotes is someone who I've known, and I take that and I gave it that little extra. Good morning there, CBC voter 62. Great to see you this morning, brother. I'm just talking about the books and why we do what we love doing. Oh, and then there's a link to my Delphi clone. You can scan that. So this was like the next book that I wrote, right? And each quote gave me inspiration of the people that I've known that had helped me to get to where I was today. Who are the people that helped you get to where I'm today? Who are those who's, right? So we got to look at the who, not the how. So I look at the who's that helped me in each little story. Number 19, the cannabis cultivates a garden of peace in the mind, soiled by the soul. Rob Lowry. Rob, a lawyer. It's about Rob. See, everyone has a little emotional state, and that's why I write these little books. So if you happen, you can go to Amazon, right? Or if you see me, you'll see me around. It's one of those next books that it gave me some inspiration and gave some inspiration to people who I cared about, how I was growing and understanding. What gives you that inspiration? What are those big moments in your life? So I have those in this little book. So every time I open this book, see how I get all excited, right? I put my fingers together, I start laughing because I have all these great little things. So I want to pick up a coffee table book. It's got some great little quotes. You might recognize some of the names if you're in the cannabis industry. If you don't, it's still going to give you some inspiration. So these are some cool books that I have. And everybody kept asking me about writing my story. Who hasn't written their story? And if you haven't written your story, you should start now. And we could teach this all when? March 28th, I'm doing a webinar. It's going to be the Greenway AI Summit. It's going from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. You can definitely go to greenwayai.ca and it'll pop up there and click on there. And I'll be talking about even how I wrote some of these books because that's what we talking more about the AI and what I've been doing and how I'm using AI today. I want to show you some tools. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. All right. Like show you how I paint up the painting, show you how I did my garden. I want to show you how I'm using AI and how actually a lot of these, well, this was not written with AI at all, zero. Now, Farmer from Freedom was written from my story, was written with a little bit of AI. And it's a great little book of how I was able to get through what I went through. And it's kind of like a guide, my personal healing story. So everybody asked me about my books, and I haven't had a chance to really do a channel about my books and really talk about my why, my purpose, and why From Farmer for Freedom was such an amazing, like inspirational pull for me. What is your why? For me, pharmaceutical drugs, their true needs, and lifelong care dealing with traumatic pain or injury the green way. Holistic healing, natural health, cannabinoid therapy. That's all in this book. It's all about my 20, 30 years of understanding, holistic healing, natural health. AI helped me write it too, and I did the concepts in the middle. It gave me the dialogue, gave me the structure. So AI helped me with the structure and then proper pronunciate some of the words. And then it's like there's no pictures in here. Just this was not like an AI. This was my story. So this is the best part about learning, and the best part about what we get to do is what is your story? What's that story that put you where you want to be? So these are the stories that got me to where I am. These were inspirational things that happened in my life, and I was able to teach myself like how you're teaching yourself, right? So I'm curious. I mean, I don't even know what's going on here today, which is nice. I love it because I'm just talking away. I got definitely guys here. Thank you for watching. So I'm just curious. Who here wants to write their own story? Write your own book, your story of your life. This is your goal. This is like your map of meaning, right? This gave me my map of meaning, my meaning of where I am today and how I was able to get to where I am. My map of meaning. I hope we have a map of meaning, a map of where you are. This is pretty cool. Now, you want to hear the next book? So this was the map of meaning. This is really my true thing. This is like the green way, right? There's Medi Kush, Med Tainer, Medi One, around the world, the green way. Right? So this is part of my stories, guys. So I was able to actually identify some of the great things in life and be able to actually, share back. So we always talk, right? Now, the last one, this is not the last one, because I'm probably going to write another book, of course. This is the newest one here. This is really what's gearing up to where we're going, to where we are today, and how I've learned so much. And I'm always sharing. Sharing is caring. I love sharing with you guys what I've done. So you've seen the channel over the last couple of years. You've seen the change. You've seen I talked about my T-bone. That's also in this book. Let's talk about my accidents. I was able to get through these with discipline, with courage, with what? With having leverage, seeing myself where I'd be if I did not get to where I am right now, seeing how bad I would be if I did not have the leverage to push me where I am. Right? These are all these books that gave me leverage to push forward. What's leveraging you to get to where you are? My last book, the one I'm talking about right now, which is pretty cool. Smart AI and Cannabis. This was the next big book. This was the next book that helped teach me. This is the big thing I want to help with you guys. And I've learned so much, like we've learned from LEDs, from growing. We learned from Farmer to Freedom, from deep all those cannabis baking videos back in 2014, 2015. Definitely go back on the channel, check those out. If you're not baking and decarboxylating your cannabis, if you're actually doing it for your own medicine, you should learn how. And you can learn that with what? Yeah. The videos are great. And I could tell you some cool stuff that's going on with that now. So once again, I'm doing this webinar on March 28th. It's free. It's from 11 until 3. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have breakout rooms so you can actually talk with other like-minded people who are using it and how they're identifying it, and they ask some questions. We're going to go through some hands-on training, which is going to be cool. I'm going to show you that, right? And then in the afternoon, boom, another breakout room, and talk about those successes, what you've actually made, where you are with it, how you're using AI to map your next garden or your next project that you have. And it's going to give you a strategy. It's going to give you the story that you have, and because we're going to change that story to a new story, and then the state to get you there. That's the Greenway AI. That's the focus we're doing here. And that's what we're doing here. So what state are you in right now? Say yes. Let's feel that, right? What's the story you're telling yourself of what you're growing in 2026? What strategies are going to take you there? Like you, right? This is the mission. This is Monday. This is what we get to do. And all I would do is I do this every day, right? So I mean, the best thing about today is you're here, you're showing up, and we're going to get to the next level. So next mission Monday, get ready for it. I got some new videos coming out on LEDs, on underlight canopying, what we're doing with Grandmaster level. You'll start seeing those popping up throughout the week. We're changing some dialogue. I'm also going to do another awesome mission Monday next week. So we'll see you next Monday. I'd love to know more. Stoked for the see the auto Cinderella Jack. That's awesome. By the way, I got Medi Mac. We got the clones going. I got new seeds going down. This is the mission. I can't wait to see the new growth. Remember, you have to plant a seed because everybody can tell you how many seeds are in an apple, but nobody can tell you how many apples are in a seed. So on our mission Mondays, we're planting the next seed, that next growth. What's the strategies that you have? What's the story you're going to give yourself? And what's the state that's going to get you there? We're gonna have fun. Have fun today. Stoked to see the seeds you guys are growing. Stoked to see what's going on. Stoked to see at the Greenway AI Summit coming up on March 28th. Share that. Go to the website. Have some fun. It's right there, Greenway AI. It's everything we're doing. Mission Monday. It's your mission. Have fun today. Much love, guys. We'll see you next Monday. Peace, guys. Plant a seed. Have a fantastic one. That too, Solo. Much love. Peace. Yes. Now I gotta find my Zoom meeting so I can close it off.